are you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Oh my god, it's morning and it's 3 o'clock from where I am in the morning, but I couldn't miss this. So the Artemis 2 crew is coming back. If you don't know, this crew went to the moon and went to the farthest side of the moon. They didn't land, but this is the second time that we've gone to the moon. Um, yeah, in over 50 years. So the crew is coming back, and I missed the takeoff, but I wasn't gonna miss the landing. Let's have a look. Let's have a butchers see them coming back. If you're new here, please make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And let's see, they're around 20 minutes from landing, and they are re-entering right now. So I just wanna see because it's cool and it's fun and give you like a live reaction. So without further ado, let's go. So this is, I'm watching from NASA's official website, yeah. If we can get some audio. This was the mission control room. This is where they would control the missions, where they would communicate with the crew.
Crew module raise burn is underway. 19-second firing of the thrusters.
As you can see, the re-entry has begun. You can see them there. The re-entry has begun. So the band, they're entering the Earth, the atmosphere.
Integrity, good. CM raise burn. Your flight path angle is within limits.
The angle is good. The burn is good. It's gonna burn very, very hot.
So the final maneuver is now complete. Our trajectory for a splashdown in the Pacific 29 minutes from now is set.
They will splash down in 29 minutes, okay.
We have a right angle of attack to mitigate any excessive heat loads on the vehicle during entry interface.
It's gonna be very, very hot.
Coverage. When you perform the 180 roll for the first minute or so in that attitude, we expect about a minute LOS.
If you've joined, make sure please to like. This is gonna be very cool.
So for those who are watching the series of events coming up, we will enter the first traces of Earth's atmosphere 14 minutes 45 seconds from now. 6:53 and 30 seconds is what is pegged for entry interface at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling at approximately 34,800 feet per second, range to touchdown or splashdown 1,701 nautical miles. 24 seconds after entry interface, we will enter a 6-minute blackout period in which we will lose communications with the crew. This is expected due to the buildup of plasma around the vehicle. That's an ionization effect due to the collision, if you will, of the velocity of the spacecraft with the friction of the Earth's atmosphere.
I think that will be the scariest bit.
To begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. During that period of time, we will reach our peak speed of 24,661 miles per hour. That comes just short, based on unofficial data from the flight dynamics officer right now, will come just short of the velocity record set by Apollo 10 of 24,791 miles per hour in 1969. We expect peak heating on the vehicle at 6:54 and 52 seconds p.m. Central Time, minute and 22 seconds into entry interface. At that point, we will be
I'm just checking my audio is okay.
204,000 feet above the Earth, traveling at 33,000 feet per second. blackout period is expected to last 6 minutes. We expect that blackout period to end at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time. From the end of the blackout period until splashdown, it is just 7 minutes. At which point we'll start deploying the series of parachutes to slow Integrity down to an ultimate splashdown velocity of just 19 miles an hour.
He was just explaining the process that we're gonna find. It's gonna be re-entry, and then they're gonna be hanging for a while. Then the parachutes are gonna come out, and then the splashdown is gonna happen. All within the next 25 minutes. Expect it to hit down in the next 25 minutes. So
the parachute deployment
it's gonna be an interesting watch. If I sound groggy, it's because I was asleep. It's like 3 o'clock where I am. But this is very cool.
Yes, we'll have to go back.
I really hope they land safely as well.
Wiseman and Jackie Mahaffey exchanging discussion on a view of the moon that Integrity's astronauts are seeing in the final minutes of this mission that will be completed with splashdown just 20.
They can still see the moon?
3 forward bay cover parachutes will be used to
That's interesting.
cover off the top of the vehicle. Then 2 drogue parachutes will be deployed to slow and stabilize the crew module during its descent, followed by 3 pilot parachutes that will lift and deploy the main parachutes from the forward bay.
Okay.
The final sequence will have 3 main parachutes deployed. These will be 116 feet in diameter. Each main parachute approximately 265 feet long when reefed.
I love how this guy has his family as the screensaver.
Peak speed
It's very fun.
33 times the speed of sound.
Interesting.
To a gentle 19 miles an hour as splashdown.
This room looks like a movie. We have IVA, BME, FDO, Prop, GNC. I have no idea what any of this means. Capcom, Control, MPO, EEC, Science. Insane. It looks like in the movies how the spaceships it looked like. These are the smartest brains in the world. Some of the smartest brains in the world.
Integrity is trajectory from southwest and northeast across the Pacific Ocean.
The touchdown is gonna happen in 20 minutes.
Feet per second.
They had gone to the farthest side of the moon because we are preparing to go back to the moon. So
all the systems in excellent shape.
All systems are good. Oh, this is inside the capsule.
Integrity, Orion in the EIRO 180 attitude.
Let's get on board, Jackie.
This must be very scary for the astronauts as well. You can imagine.
One of Integrity's windows. We had a call for 3 good barrows. Those are barometric pressure sensors that feed altitude and rate of descent information to Integrity's computers that will trigger the parachute deployment sequence. We are less than 9 minutes away from entry interface, 22 minutes from...
Less than 9 minutes away from entry. This is the view from the window. Wow. Is that the sun? Damn. Insane. Insane views. Is he streaming from his phone? I think so. So like in space, it alters from hot and cold all the time.
Just a few clouds, some scattered clouds.
Scattered?
10 knots.
How?
Wave heights just about 4 feet.
Do we have?
Gentle day in the Pacific.
Oh, maybe they're talking about like on Earth. The sky is clear. So also like, what is he talking about? Clouds in space.
Integrity back in EI attitude.
Proceed to same on board, Jackie.
All I wanna know is this from their phones? Looks like a phone angle.
Is complete. Crew and vehicle are configured for entry.
Houston copies.
We are about to re-enter in 9 minutes. Well, more like 5 minutes. I wasn't gonna miss this. No way.
And Houston, in instruction 509, we are not below 0.2.
Integrity, no action required.
Integrity.
I'm just checking my audio, ensuring it's fine.
Now 6 minutes away from entry interface. We will hit the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling about 34,882 feet per second. Range splashdown at that point will be 1,701 nautical miles. Once again, just a reminder, some 24 seconds after entry interface, we do expect to lose communications with the vehicle and the crew during a 6-minute blackout period, and a plasma field will build up around the spacecraft.
There's gonna be a 6-minute blackout because of the heat. There's gonna be, as the capsule re-enters, there's gonna be a plasma buildup. Plasma is basically burning hot air. It's gonna be around it as the vehicle re-enters, because of friction. There's gonna be a 6-minute blackout. It's gonna be around it as the
Houston concur.
Blackout period to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time.
the blackout is gonna begin
About 6 minutes.
in 6 minutes. Oh, as you can see the Earth there. What a view. From the capsule live, they're about to start re-entry. That's an amazing, amazing view of the Earth. It's insane the views you get from space. Amazing. Wow, look at that. They are going to land in the Atlantic.
This view from Integrity As it crosses from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean, 3 minutes from entry interface.
3 minutes from entry. Wow, what a view.
16.5 minutes till splashdown. The USS John P. Murtha and the recovery team station position, as are the airborne imagery assets that we hope to
The recovery team is ready.
as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere through parachute deployment.
This is crazy, but amazing at the same time.
All of Integrity's systems are in great shape, but the crew is ready to.
The system is looking good.
15.5 minutes from now. All of the activities today have gone off in perfect fashion. No issues with the vehicle, no issues with the crew. And the weather at the splashdown site is go.
The splashdown is gonna be in the next 15 minutes. The re-entry probably in the next 2 minutes as they align themselves with the Pacific. This is gonna be very cool. If you join, make sure to like the stream so that we can enjoy this together. This is a view from the window of the capsule.
Coming up on 1 minute until entry interface.
1 minute to entry, and they have said as re-entry happens, there's gonna be a 6-minute blackout period as plasma builds up on the vehicle. Plasma is basically like burning hot air because of the friction of the vehicle with the Earth's atmosphere. So it's gonna be a bit too hot. So
Mark 1 minute until entry interface.
1 minute, they're coming back.
1 minute 20 seconds until the expected start of our 6-minute blackout.
This announcer is making me nervous.
To a 6-minute blackout.
He said 2 minutes to a 6 minutes blackout. Okay. That must be a scary moment as well. You can imagine 6 minutes of no communication between Earth and between the station and the vehicle. What a view, actually. The views are crazy. From space, the views, insane.
Ten seconds till entry interface.
10 seconds. Ooh, it's happening.
And we have crossed the threshold now, entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Crossing fingers now.
We're at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second.
400,000 feet. How big is that in kilometers? I have no idea.
Time to splash down 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
13 minutes to splash down. We are at re-entry phase. You can see the plasma build up. You can see, or is that the sun? Oh, now are we in?
As predicted, we've entered our communications blackout.
Yeah, we are into the communication blackout.
6-minute blackout period.
So that was plasma build up. Yeah, it was the plasma starting to build up. 6 minutes of blackout.
Seconds away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true test of our trajectory.
The astronauts are walking around. I think they are very nervous. Oh, is this a telescope? Can we see them?
And from the G5 aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown zone, this view of Integrity. That pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in Earth's atmosphere. First tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st.
They launched on April 1st. It's been a 10-day trip. A 10-day trip is relatively quick, actually. You can imagine if
It's until the end of the blackout period.
To go to the moon and come back is a 10-day journey.
The splashdown, 11 minutes.
That's doable. You can have like a vacation of 1 month. Go to the moon, then come back. Can you imagine a 1 month vacation? You go to the moon and then come back. Which means they should come back in 6 minutes.
The landing and support officer reports that the P3 has position on integrity. Three and a half minutes left in this blackout period.
Oh,
this is a visualization.
This is a visualization of what would be happening to them.
Spacecraft and the repelling of that heat. Integrity's heat shield.
It's a plasma buildup. Can you imagine they have traveled over 300,000 miles? How much is that in kilometers? That's like half a million kilometers, is it? No.
Airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on integrity. Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout period.
2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the blackout period.
Minutes, 35 seconds.
They're gonna be landing in the next 10 minutes.
Multiple airborne assets as part of the recovery team all have visuals on integrity.
So everybody has visuals, it's just that we don't have communication with the vehicle. Yeah, 400,000 kilometers.
Flying the splashdown zone also has a visual.
250,000 miles is 400,000 kilometers. Can you imagine traveling 400,000 kilometers for 10 days?
We're still in the blackout period.
But 10 days, I think 10 days is a very good. It's like you can make that trip, you know? If it was a vacation, you know? Takes 5 days to go, 5 days to come back. So you can have like a month vacation, so that you can have like other like 20 days in there.
Standing by for communications from the crew. Should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
Communication should be resuming in less than a minute. But this is a very scary period because you basically don't have any communication with her. You don't know what's happening, but you know, plasma be plasmaing. But if everything is done all right,
they're now processing data from integrity.
all right, we are almost back. Yeah, mission control.
Landing and support officer reports the small boats are en route to the splashdown target zone.
Small boats have been released. What's that? Is that the vehicle?
Passing through 150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect. We're getting intermittent views.
Everything is going to plan this.
Integrity. Still waiting to establish voice communication.
Voice communication not yet established.
Integrity, Houston, com check, post blackout.
There we go.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Your trajectory is nominal and your recovery teams have visual.
Right. We have re-established communications. They sound fine.
Internal camera controller fails.
Big cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman.
Commander Reed Wiseman.
Integrity, 5.5 minutes away from
5.5 minutes. That was a scary pair, but they made it.
range to splash down 19 nautical miles.
Which view is this? Because this is the spacecraft we can see here at the center. But is this like a telescope or something? Should put like a disclaimer to photosensitive viewers or something. Oh, there they are.
Integrity impact to the camera controller fail is no tab 1 views of the chute.
We can see them.
Integrity. We're processing good data through the GPS system. Good view of Integrity. Time to splash down 4.5 minutes.
That's a very good view. Wow. That's a very good view of Integrity.
Integrity from the WB-57. We're at 50,000 feet.
Oh, there it comes. Very heavy. It's looking good. Oh. Wow. Amazing. Can you imagine this is live? This is not like a video game or AI or something like this is actually live. Wow.
They covered jettison.
Wow. Look at that. How beautiful is that? It's crazy. I think this is from oh, did you see the parachutes?
There go the first series of parachutes.
Parachutes coming out to slow it down.
And Houston, we're visual 2 times.
Wow. This is from an airplane. Look at how cool that looks.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out.
Okay, so there's gonna be another deployment. Wow, that's insane.
Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
The perfect descent rate. Look at that. So the first parachutes have been released. Now it's wow. Just wow. Can you imagine we can do this? Well, we are doing it. Not even an issue of we can. We are. There they are.
Passing through 10,000 feet.
10,000 feet. We've switched from the airplane view. I think now we can see them from the ground. This is a normal camera. Oh, second parachutes. Oh, the big ones.
Main chute deployed.
The main parachutes have been deployed to slow down the capsule.
Search and recovery beacon has been activated on Integrity.
Wow, this is insane.
We have 3 good main chutes.
3.
Good 3 main chutes. Good reefing. Good descent rate.
Good 3 main chutes. 3 main chutes. That's good. Should they be 4? Because it kind of looks like it is slanting like this. It looks like it's slanted like this. So should they be like 4? Wow.
This is a perfect descent for integrity.
Perfect descent.
On board. Time to splash down 1 minute 15 seconds.
1 minute 15 seconds to splash down. Oh, this looks crazy. Looks like a movie.
Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space
600,000, 694,000 miles, you say? That's basically like a million kilometers. Close to a million kilometers. What is it? Why is it burning? Or, or that's just the atmosphere?
Passing through 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. We are coming close to the water. Shouldn't they switch back to just normal camera? I think we are getting very, very close to the water. There we go. Oh, beautiful shot. Crazy cinematic shot. Almost looks like AI. Oh, splashdown.
Splashdown confirmed.
Oh, that was a bit rough.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m.
It was just looking very, very smooth, and then
The pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon. New chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts.
The parachutes have been released. Now it's for them to be recovered.
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. Perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
The vehicle's perfect splashdown. It looked kind of rough, but okay. What camera is this, man? Now they're gonna be recovered. I mean, don't you think like it would be easy to get lost? It will be easy to lose people from this because he's like
the unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you.
7 p.m.
Put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed of 9 days, 1 hour, 31.
Because you come from space and then you land to the ocean, and you know how the ocean is big.
And we're configuring for a very low data rate.
I guess maybe that's why we need once
again splashdown occurring,
cameras so that we can be able to spot them.
7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
This is the flight deck, so I'm guessing they'll be recovered to the capsule. Boats will go take them and then they'll come here.
We have you saying we'll meet you over in post landing.
Oh, that's the communication to the vehicle, just saying they're all right.
We are stable 1 for green crew members.
Stable 1 for green crew members.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition.
Meaning all the astronauts are fine.
Stable 1 upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for the vehicle. This was a textbook entry and a textbook touchdown for Integrity
Textbook stuff. That's amazing. Perfect re-entry. A view. So the 4 airbags on top of the vehicle are the ones, they are filled with helium, and they are maintaining like the vehicle upright. If it didn't have that, I think the vehicle would tip because of its shape. But what a mission! What a mission! Years in the making. 10 days in actual flight. And now they are back. Now it's just their recovery. Well, this is an amazing marvel. Going to the moon and coming back in 10 days. Is that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent shape.
Soon we'll be saying you're going to vacation on the moon, and you just need 2 weeks. 2 weeks of the experience, actually. Because probably they'll be like, 5-star cruisers or something.
406, and we're powering radio now. Go ahead.
So like you can still have like an experience, a vacation experience as you're going.
Your star radio uses the same antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
Okay, copy. We're also powering up the phone.
Firing up the satellite phone.
So integrity is in great shape, and as the crew continues its post-splashdown timelined activities on board, Reed Wiseman once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape.
All 4 crew members are good. This was an amazing mission.
So that the reaction, the recovery team can now begin a slow approach to the vehicle, while here in the flight control room, Entry Flight Director Rick Hensling is polling his team of flight controllers for the start of powering down the vehicle. After a thorough systems check, we have no toxic gases to be concerned about, so the recovery personnel can approach the vehicle.
Oh, so there might be some toxic gases of the. There might be some toxic gases on the, I guess, from the burn or from the whole trip. So the mission controller just making sure that it is safe for the people on the ground to approach them. It will take a few minutes.
Integrity back on Earth.
Integrity.
It was, for all intents and purposes, a textbook mission. Now remain on this frequency. Reed Wiseman indicating some trouble with the SARSAT phone on board, but that's not an issue. What is more important is that the vehicle is solid. No issues as we begin the power down.
The satellite phone is not working.
Recovery process. The propulsion officer here in Mission Control reports that we have saved the prop system on integrity.
It's yo-yoing like crazy.
Very weak and broken.
The satellite phone is broken.
Houston did not call.
Copy that, Houston. It might have been on the side radio. Stand by.
You're asking if Houston called. Houston is where the mission control is.
Were executed in perfect fashion. Integrity, the Earth's atmosphere, right on time, reaching its peak speed shortly after a blackout period began, emerged from the blackout period, but the recovery imagery airborne assets were able to pick up Integrity's descent almost immediately through entry interface, tracking the vehicle all the way down. Finally, you saw the sequence of chute deployments. First, the forward bay cover being pulled off the top of the vehicle by a series of 3 parachutes. Then the drogue chutes were deployed, followed by the 3 main chutes that slowed the splashdown velocity of Integrity to just 90 miles an hour.
That's the recovery boat.
Integrity Houston with No Joy on SAR that phone. We'd like you to come in an additional 15 minutes for a total of 30 minutes sound delay.
15 minutes of waiting. 30 minutes power down delay. Okay.
We can select it T/D+30. No Joy on Star Radio or cell phone. And stand by, we have Master Diver on Star Radio. Please hold comms. Agent got the Master Diver on.
There's the recovery vehicle.
View of one of the fast boats.
If you stay with your comp Master Diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
And 15. We are in the 15-minute power down.
Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
Boats are approaching.
The crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control. Timing of the power
Whoa.
down.
From the top, it's bobbing like crazy.
To the recovery team approaching the spacecraft. There are no issues with Integrity. Had a bit of
Why does it look like it's sinking?
broken capability in establishing a SARSAT or satellite phone communications capability between the crew on board Integrity, the recovery team. That will get sorted out here shortly.
Whoa.
Plenty of cooling on board Integrity, so there's no rush to begin the power down. That phone, no, didn't answer there either.
They are unable to establish communication with the satellite phone. The satellite phone is supposed to communicate to the recovery boats so that they can be told so that they can tell them when they're ready to come out, because now they're powering down the vehicle. Remember, everything would still be very, very hot out on board.
But it does not appear as though they are hearing us.
Okay, so they're hearing them. They're hearing the people on the boat, but I don't think the people on the boat can hear them.
And Reed, just to confirm, you are pushing the PTT on the radio.
Well, it could be they're just not pressing a button so that they can hear them.
So as we continue to sort out the communications between integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initiation of power down procedures. That, as you see, the recovery teams are moving towards the side of the capsule. The next major event will be the erection of that large inflatable raft called the front porch. That will be the port of call for the crew as they're being extracted one by one from the vehicle.
Integrity Houston for stat phone, we are going to attempt to call you.
Good idea. Standing by. And Jackie, yes, we are pushing the push to talk, the two buttons on the left side of the radio below the up down arrow. We are utilizing them. I'm rebooting the radio to see if we get good comms.
Okay, we copy all. Just to confirm, you are seeing that you are touchdown plus 3030 for power, correct?
That's affirmative. We are trying a backdoor approach to have mission control here call the crew on their satellite phone. This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle.
We are still
that will
having communication issues. They have not even started powering down, and it's a 15-minute power down procedure. So, but I don't think they're in a hurry.
Integrity to begin the process of erecting the large inflatable raft. That's called the front porch. That will be where the astronauts are extracted from, so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back before they're hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters for the flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
So they're gonna be put on the boats to adjust, and then on the helicopter, and then they go to the landing deck. You can imagine how tired they are. Yeah. This must be like crazy.
Houston, please reply. Be very weak, unreadable master diver. We can hear, but they cannot hear us.
They can hear, but the crew cannot hear them. The people on the boat cannot hear them, but they can hear them. Did he say it's a week? I mean, I think though they would have a few redundancies as well.
Then the OE1, is there any chance that the path into NRD?
There's the helicopter that will take them back to the landing, but I think it's also recording.
This is Mission Control, Houston. While we stand by for the establishment of communications between Integrity, the recovery team that is basically standing by very close to the spacecraft, we're going to go to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha, where Megan Cruz is standing by with Administrator Jared Isaacman.
Hey, Rob, yeah, just such an honor to be able to be here on the ship, to be able to share and experience this moment together. And of course, as you just said, yes, here with NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Administrator, how did you feel getting to witness this and seeing NASA?
I mean, I'm honestly, I'm still at a loss for words. I mean, you know, like the childhood Jared, right? I can't believe what I just saw. I mean, almost been waiting my whole lifetime to see this, and then NASA Administrator. I just couldn't be more proud of the entire.
This is the NASA's administrator.
All the hard work across the country that contributed to this incredible moment right now, and yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at the
I mean, we've got everybody. What do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams.
He's very young
that's on their way.
for an administrator.
Are getting out to our spacecraft, Integrity, get our astronauts back on ship safely.
This is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, historic mission to the moon and back. How does this feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis 2 crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So, yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once in a lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this is a once in a lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the for Artemis 3? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's
when is Artemis 3 happening?
Off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start taking a look at it, because all that data is so precious to us right now. I mean, we are going to definitely want to take a good look at the thermal protection system. We're going to want to download all the data they couldn't transmit back to us and use that to inform Artemis 3. But we're already making progress, right? You had SRB segments already showing up at KSC. Core stage for Artemis 3 is rolling out on April 20th. We're getting Mobile Launcher 1 back in vehicle assembly building. So yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis 2. And at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Question for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners. What do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board of Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis 2, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort. We are returning to the moon. We're doing it to stay. We are building that enduring presence. We are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone. We're bringing everybody along.
2027, Artemis 3.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion, so stay tuned. And
so Artemis 3 is going to be next year. Okay. We've heard from the administrator. Good
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Administrator.
signs
We are in the process of working to establish that communications link, to establish the procedures that will lead to the power down of the spacecraft, which is gently bobbing in the Pacific following a bullseye touchdown that occurred at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego. We have once again heard from the crew during that interview opportunity with the administrator of 4 healthy crew members on board. We now have confirmation that the vehicle has been powered down per the procedures. So we have vehicle powered down, and the flight control team here in Houston, Flight Director Rick Hentling, has handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems team out in the Pacific. Now, we will physically not get off console with this team until the crew has been extracted into the front porch, that inflatable raft that will be erected along the of integrity. So we're standing by for that in the next step in the recovery procedures, but everything is in great shape. And we have 4 healthy crew members on board the vehicle. All of the entry events went by the book, no issues, perfect trajectory for integrity that was culminated with one final raise burn to prove the angle of attack for the vehicle as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. All of that flight dynamics computation worked like a charm. So we are standing by for the recovery team to approach integrity and begin the process of erecting that inflatable raft called the front porch, which will see the crew members be extracted from the hatch of Orion into that inflatable raft before they're hoisted aboard 2 Navy helicopters in a variety of different configurations. Each crew member will be hoisted in sequential fashion, in alternating fashion, 2 crew members for each helicopter before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exam. But Reed Wiseman has reported several times that the crew is in excellent shape.
So they're doing the power down now.
So just to recap, it has been some 26.5 minutes since the splashdown of integrity in the Pacific. The vehicle is in excellent shape. It performed like a champ all the way down through the Earth's atmosphere. All of the vehicle functions were checked off in excellent trip hammer fashion. The parachutes all deployed as planned. Splashdown occurring at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. And after a bit of a hustle to try to establish a communications link with the recovery team, we were finally able to run through the procedures for the powering down of the vehicle. We've handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems folks out in the Pacific, and the recovery team will be approaching the vehicle shortly to erect the inflatable raft called the front porch before opening the hatch to integrity to bring the crew members onto that raft before they're hoisted the 2 Navy helicopters, two crew members for each helicopter before they're flown back to the deck of the USS John P. Martha.
Have we established communication?
This is Mission Control Houston. After talking to the flight dynamic folks, we have a bit of a refinement on the splashdown time for you. Their computation shows a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time, 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time.
So the splashdown was at 7:07 and 27 seconds. What did he say? 7:07 26 seconds.
A mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, 15 seconds.
9 days, 1 hour, 15 seconds.
Once again, from Flight Dynamics, a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, 15 seconds.
9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. A whole journey.
Reports from the Pacific indicate that the recovery team communications with the crew aboard Integrity, that the crew remains in excellent shape as they await the approach of the team for a final hazard gas evaluation before they move to the side of the vehicle to erect the inflatable life raft called the front porch.
So they're just checking that there are no harmful gases before they inflate the raft to extract.
Again, no issues with Integrity. The vehicle is powered down. All of its systems are now safed. We have have handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems folks in the Pacific, but we will not stand down and have the entry flight control team depart its positions until that inflatable raft front porch is erected, the hatch open, and the crew having exited the vehicle. So that's the next step in the recovery process that will lead to the hoisting of the crew members. For 2 crew members for each helicopter, they'll be hoisted to a pair of Navy helicopters that will then fly a short distance back to the USS John P. Murtha. What you're looking at is one of the fast boats circling the vehicle to make a hazard assessment.
So the fast boats are circling to see if it's safe to approach the vehicle. They're still checking.
This is Mission Control Houston. Once again, you're watching the creation or the recovery of the Artemis crew aboard Integrity. All of the Navy divers and the fast boats are approaching the spacecraft after conducting a hazard assessment. The vehicle has been powered down. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling now waiting for the life raft, the front porch, to be erected along the side of the vehicle so that the hatch be opened and the crew members extracted from Integrity, soon to be hoisted one by one into a pair of Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. If you missed it earlier, we talked to Flight Dynamics, received a more official touchdown time, or splashdown time, as it were, of 7:07 and 27 seconds.
Okay, they're now going to attach. They've ensured it is safe. The Navy.
That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. continuing to get excellent views from the imagery assets at sea in the Pacific of integrity. We continue to get good reports from the landing and support officer who's in contact with the recovery team that the crew is in excellent shape, no issues. They're just currently biding their time, waiting for the front porch to be erected. We have no hazardous hazard gases, no hazardous situation with the vehicle. It performed perfectly all the way down from entry interface to its splashdown in the Pacific at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. And as you can see, the first phalanx of recovery personnel now pulling up alongside of integrity.
We started the recovery.
This includes Navy divers and Navy flight surgeons and other recovery personnel who have trained for several years for this recovery process. At this hour, some 41 minutes following splashdown, the vehicle has been no hazardous gas emanating from the vehicle. That's why the first of the recovery personnel has been able to pull alongside integrity. And the reports continue to come in that the 4 astronauts are in excellent shape. Yes.
So now the Navy are pulling alongside to begin the recovery.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch the initiation of the recovery of Integrity's astronauts. One by one, they'll be brought out of the spacecraft onto a large inflatable raft just a short time from now. In the meantime, we can go back to the USS John P. Murtha, where my colleague Megan Cruz is standing by to provide her situation report. Megan, can you hear us?
Hey, Rob, yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Yeah, we're back here on the bow of the recovery ship where there's still plenty of people peering out into the water. We're very far from the action everyone is seeing on their screen now. The Orion spacecraft Integrity in the ocean, surrounded by a number of recovery boats. as Rob has those recovery boats, the Navy personnel specifically trained to the astronauts of Orion. Some of our wide shots, you can probably see that there are 6 boats. More than 40 people in the water boats.
Okay. They're turning it.
First order of business is to set up the front porch, the stabilization collar.
You are setting up the front porch.
Stab collar. Basically just to make sure that Orion stays upright, doesn't sway in the water too much, again, to make it easy for recovery forces to get the astronaut. Again, we Pacific Ocean just after 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's a requirement by NASA to be able to get the crew out of within 2 hours of splashdown. We're doing great on time so far. Plenty of time. Rush. Speaking to.
So you have to extract within 2 hours. Why is it a requirement? What happens after 2 hours?
To get the crew out, make sure they're feeling good. And whenever they're ready to take their step out of a and onto that large raft, the front porch, folks will be ready.
Okay, it's open. Where's the raft, or the raft is coming from inside?
In mission control in Houston, there is a mission radio loop here on the ship. Just reported out that the side hatch is open. Side hatch of integrity is open.
Why did we open the side hatch? When they going to build the
shots from our aerial assets?
Are they going to build the
3,000 away.
front porch? Or is the front porch inside the vehicle?
On the boat here, glued to the side, closest to where they can see all this action. And again, with just 3,000 separating us, great views from the bow here. You can see now that side hatch is open. One of the Navy personnel is about to get inside there.
Why is he going inside?
In they go. In total, 4 will go in. It'll be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but the goal is to recovery personnel with each astronaut assessing them.
4 people are going to get in, so it's gonna have like 8 people inside?
Boats getting closer now. Again, that one that's right up against, those are the divers that will go in for the spacecraft to check on each of the astronauts. These other boats will begin doing a number of things, putting on that stabilization column to Orion, building that front porch. Eventually, they will retrieve the parachutes, as well as tow Orion back to the well deck of the recovery ship.
So which one is Orion, which one is Integrity, and which one is Artemis?
We wait for the Navy and NASA personnel.
I'm guessing Artemis is the mission, Integrity is the vehicle, but which one is Orion?
Entry team of flight controllers still on duty. The vehicle has been powered down for some time. There are no hazardous gases emanating from Integrity that, of course, allowed the recovery personnel to approach the vehicle and then open the hatch to begin the initial medical assessment of the crew, as you just indicated. Now we're standing by for the erection of that inflatable raft.
Okay, so we are doing the front porch now.
The crew to be extracted one by one onto the raft, have a moment or two to get their land legs back before they're hoisted into two hovering Navy helicopters, two crew members for each helicopter, for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. All of Integrity's systems operated flawlessly throughout the course of the approach to the Earth, the entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and all of the key milestones that followed in this high-speed return to Earth for Integrity, a mission that spanned more than 694,000 miles from the vehicle's launch from the space.
That's like close to 1,000,000 kilometers.
Back on April 1st. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the last time that the Apollo program saw a splashdown in the Pacific was Apollo 17 back on December 9, 1972. So for the first time in 53 and a half years, we have reenacted that with the arrival of Integrity's astronauts as they
The divers are going down
in that historic lunar flyby.
to set the raft,
Began with a lunar injection burn that took them
to set the front porch.
orbit following 24 hours of a high Earth orbit trajectory. The high Earth orbit trajectory enabled flight controllers here to have a full 24 hours to evaluate the systems on Integrity and the condition of the crew before they would commit to flying to the moon.
It's bobbing a lot.
With the side hatch of Orion having been opened to set the stage for the erection of the inflatable life raft, known as the front porch, to be erected alongside the spacecraft for the extraction of the crew. Let's play for you an interview that my colleague Megan Cruz conducted on the USS John P. Murtha with Navy diver First Class David McMahon that explains how this process is unfolding.
You and some of your team, one last over stabilization column. Okay, so what is this stabilization column?
What's going to stabilize the capsule out there in the ocean? Don't know the weather be that day, so this will help prevent any unnecessary appearances from stabilizing the capsule. And
So basically, this is a float that, assuming that what they're doing is the line, the column.
that's correct. We've got the lower line that secures the ocean before we inflate it. That gives us the go ahead that it's secure in space, and then we'll inflate it. And if that is done, we'll do all the carabiners and get this orange line on in the same fashion. And this will be secured to the capsule. Safely take the steps out the capsule to the front porch.
How long will it take them to set up the stabilization column?
Should definitely be able to handle this many times.
And then you just mentioned the front porch. So basically, after they set up the stabilization column, then they set up the porch here.
That's correct.
Okay, what's the front porch?
Front porch is basically a bigger way for the astronaut to sit in their suit shopping.
So the medical, the crew, the porch,
That is correct.
and the here.
We have trained medical being front porch, give them flip overs, make sure they're okay. So
How does it feel? I mean, to be part of the moon in more than 50 years?
we are behind this. A bigger mission for the Navy, starting up to do great things.
Feel like it,
Yes, yes, very right.
thank you so much.
Yep.
Once again, the recovery operations are continuing out in the Pacific. We shortly should see that life raft, the front porch, erected alongside the side hatch of the vehicle. A number of flight controllers have come into the flight control room to receive congratulations from Flight Director Rick Hentling. But we're going to stick with our operations out in the Pacific as we await the extraction of the 4 crew members who are reported to be in excellent condition. Again, while we stand by for that front porch to be erected alongside of the side hatch of the vehicle, let's go back to the USS John P. Murtha and Megan Cruz. Megan?
Hey, Rob. Pausing now to listen to some internal audio loops again. The exploration ship skating with everyone out on the water. Seems like currents hindering them a little bit from unfurling and inflating the stabilization collar as well as the front porch. But again, the requirement to get the crew out within 2 hours of splashdown, plenty of time. No concerns just yet. But as calm as the water, yeah, it looks like it's during the teams just a tad. You can see in some of our shots that side hatch is still open. Again, inside there are now 8 people inside. 4 divers, Navy divers.
8 people inside?
Each to an astronaut each. Making sure that they're comfortable, feeling good. You've heard us say in the broadcast, they expect a little bit of discomfort. Again, these astronauts just traveled back to Earth at 25,000 miles an hour, nearly 695,000 mile journey around. If you think you get car sick. And 6 boats out there, lots of gear with them, just in case, right? As we said, the crew reported feeling great. Again, all those folks out there, in case they weren't, right? NASA is all about making sure we think about every situation that can happen. And so, of course, wanted to be ready in case any of our astronauts needed medical attention while out there in the water. You see now teams again to set up the stabilization in front porch for the crew to get out of. They need both, right? The stabilization collar will keep Orion from swaying as you see it is doing now. And then they will connect the front porch to the stabilization collar so that the crew can take 2 steps and they will be in the front porch. The good thing, again, things proceed pretty nominal, even if they're fighting some there in the Pacific Ocean. Again, the goal of setting up the stabilization collar on the front porch so that the crew can rest comfortably in the front porch, get placed into harnesses so that 2 helicopters can lift them off the porch and onto USS Trump. The helicopters are going to take turns picking up an astronaut. So again, Helo 1 and Helo 2. Okay, and the recovery ship just got a report from the undersea officer who is inside the capsule with the crew. He is reporting all 4 members green. 4 astronauts received green. They are feeling great. the complexion of their skin. They are feeling great, happy to be home, and ready to be extracted as soon as possible. And so, as I was saying, we have 2 helicopters circling the activity you're seeing in the water. Each will take.
So they're stabilizing the ship, the vehicle, so that they can track.
Hover above the front porch, about 40 feet above the front porch. A Navy recovery specialist will be hoisted down into the front porch. Will connect to the first astronaut, which we're expecting to be Christina. And then Helo 2 comes in, picks up Jeremy, while Helo 1 stays above head. And then Helo 1 will come back in, another astronaut, and then Helo 2 for the last astronaut, and then back to the flight deck here. I was talking to Assistant Artemis Recovery Director Paul Sherpinski. He said helos are a much quicker, safer way to get on board. They did actually consider boats, but then if you think about it, longer time, the crew would have to move through more of the ship. This way, the helos will give a more direct, quicker route to the medical bay or hospital. Beautiful shots from our aerial and imagery team. Anticipated for a clear view from the bow of the recovery ship. You can still see divers in the water there. Encircling Orion, that is that stabilization collar we can tell you. You saw in that interview just a few minutes ago, they have to first get to Orion. And once it's secured onto Orion, they can inflate it. And then they'll
Is this vehicle called Orion or Integrity? Because the lady keeps calling it Integrity. The man keeps calling it Integrity, but the lady keeps calling it Orion. So, what's the name of this vehicle? Or what is Orion and what is Integrity?
Can splash down in the Pacific Ocean here. Lead Victor, Christine, Jeremy back home for a history-making mission to the moon and back. You missed what we said just a couple of minutes ago. The medical officer inside with the crew and all reporting 4 crew members feeling great. Being made there on the stabilization collar. Looks like they are beginning to inflate it.
So that's the collar. I guess the waves were causing a bit of issue. There were a lot of waves. It was bobbing a lot.
In order to get that into the water here shortly, inflate that as well.
So that's the front porch coming in.
People out the water. And those Navy and NASA personnel have been in the water for now about 4 hours. Get out so early is just to stage everything. So here on the ship, when there are flight operations happening, you can't have anything else, right? Just because a flight deck can be a dangerous place, so they just want to focus on planes going from the ship. So that's why they wanted to get the boats in the water and make sure that they have all the time they needed for the flight. And then the same for here, they will stay out in the water for a number of hours to recover the crew and get them back on the ship, because then they have to recover. All right.
I'm
Now seeing some recovery personnel getting up to that collar. Again, they need to further attach it to a line so that it can really pop up the space top. Lifting it up off of the water just a tad. Again, so it's not so it doesn't sway so much in the water. Now that front porch looks like it's nearly fully inflated as well. You can see a much bigger surface area.
the front porch is
So once the crew get out of the line, they can stretch their legs a little bit. Porch, get some fresh air. Enjoy this beautiful day here on their home. Repairs team now are about to connect the front porch to the stabilization collar. At that point, when both are secure, we should soon see astronauts come out of the line.
we are about to see the astronauts come out.
These views you see are being fed to the landing force operations here on the ship. Of course, it is very important for our recovery, leading the mission, to have all the views that you're seeing as well.
So we are about to see the astronauts come out. The collar has been attached to stabilize the vehicle. The front porch has been inflated, so now the astronauts will be coming out.
As expected. away from the ship. So that means this will be a really quick flight back. The helicopter for the crew. In 3 minutes, and we'll be back here on the ship. Okay, so a thumbs up.
Okay.
The front porch.
The front porch is set, so I think we're going to see astronauts start to come out. This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
And so this is the harness that
They said they are alright, they are green.
we're getting to in order to be hoisted into the helicopters. Again, those helicopters hovering just about 40 feet above the front porch from space to pick up each crew member.
This is Mission Control Houston. Behind me, a fairly raucous scene as hundreds of flight controllers have poured into the flight control room here. This is reminiscent of the scene after the final shuttle mission of STS-135, although that was the end of a program. This is only the beginning of a program with the textbook splashdown of integrity and its 4 astronauts.
That's what I don't understand, because the guy the control mission control from Houston calls this vehicle integrity, but when the lady on the ship comes on, she's calling it Orion. So what is the name of this vehicle, or what is integrity and what is Orion?
Mission for integrity on the front screen here in Mission Control, a sign that says welcome home integrity, taking humanity back to the moon, going further, returning safely to Earth. So all of that jubilation, part of the post-splashdown activities, even as we await the crew being extracted from the vehicle to be hoisted onto the helicopters for the trip back to the USS John P. Murtha.
We're about to see the four astronauts come out.
Again, here at Mission Control, this view of the Artemis flight control room, the white flight control room. This is the old shuttle flight control room, and now is the home of Artemis missions to the moon and beyond. Once again, quite a few flight controllers were invited in by entry flight director.
That's a lot of people in the control room.
Jubilation following successful splashdown integrity down occurring an hour 22 minutes ago. As we stand by for the completion of the extraction of the crew, ultimately they're hoisting onto Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the USS John P. Murtha. Splashdown occurred at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. I had an opportunity to talk to the head of flight dynamics, Jeff Birch, a moment or two ago. He said the trajectory of Integrity coming through the Earth's atmosphere was so precise, they've never seen anything line up on a ground track like today's entry by Integrity for its splashdown southwest of San Diego.
Just saying the trajectory for Integrity coming back into Earth was as predicted, precise.
And the initial, you can hear it.
The first astronaut has come out. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I think that's the first astronaut who has come out. He's being assisted, but yeah, there he is. There he is. Can barely walk, but wow. The first astronaut has come out.
We are expecting the other crew members momentarily to be extracted.
Is there? The next one has come out. First one is sitting down. So they help them stand up a bit. Applause. This is amazing. Imagine making the journey all the way to the moon and coming back.
Two crew members out, 2 to go.
2 crew members are out, 2 to go.
We're about 1 hour from sunset out in the Pacific. Everything continues to go well. Integrity's systems function perfectly during its entry back to Earth. And Reed Wiseman, the commander, who will be last out of the vehicle, reported that all the crew members were feeling very well.
The 3rd crew member has come out.
Crew member number 3 now out.
Yeah, being in space takes a number.
Bobbing in the Pacific under ideal conditions, Integrity spans 694,000 during its journey from launch to splashdown.
Now for the captain. The captain of the ship.
And we now have Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle, all 4 crew members now out.
And the captain has come out. And that It's a successful mission. All of them are out. Amazing scenes. They are all out. They will take a break.
Once again, all 4 crew members now on the front porch. And the procedure to begin hoisting them up to these 2 Navy helicopters overhead will begin shortly.
Now we're about to take them back to the ship. This is amazing. Wow. Look at the 4 astronauts. They have done an amazing feat.
This is Mission Control Houston. The mission is over, but the melody lingers on. The jubilation continues here in the flight control room. We should be expecting NASA's Associate Administrator, Amit Patria, to be joining us shortly for a short interview while the recovery operations continue out in the Pacific. So we'll stand by for that.
Hugs and fist bumps for the astronauts.
Mission Control Houston here in the Artemis flight control room. A number of flight controllers basking in the glory of the successful end of this mission that carried 4 astronauts around the flyby. First test flight with crew members on board. Splashdown occurring at 32 minutes ago, after a flawless descent back into the Earth's atmosphere for the vehicle. Its 4 crew members in good shape, simply enjoying their time. The front porch, as it were, the inflatable raft side of their Integrity spacecraft. We're expecting Amit Kathria, the NASA Associate Administrator, to join us here momentarily for a brief interview before we turn it back over to make crews aboard the USS John P. Murtha, the recovery. This is Mission Control Houston. For about an hour, 34 minutes since the textbook splashdown of Integrity in the Pacific to bring home astronauts. And with us now, Amit Kathria, the Associate Administrator. Amit, a little bit of history made tonight, a bit of history made over the past few weeks. Your thoughts as this team here.
Okay, the astronauts have been detached from the vehicle.
Overrun with jubilant folks in the control in Houston, as well as engine folks that just want to be part of it. We watched her get extracted from the vehicle, and my thought is always about these teams, the team that's in the water, the crew here in Houston that worked so hard over the last 10 days, no leave to get done. We still have some work to do to get the crew to the med bay, the ship. They all look great, so hopefully that won't be. I think we saw the administrator on the boat too, giving his thanks. The Navy on the Murtha, which they're just incredible group of sailors. I was able to visit with them a couple weeks ago, and then pull it all the way back to the workers, the folks that joined the rocket, the chute that made the heat shield tiles that held together tonight, that stacked the vehicle in Florida, that integrated the vehicle in Denver, that fired the engines in Dennis, that fired the boosters in Promontory. I mean, this is the entire team, coming together and being by the environment that this machine went through, and they did it right. The work was good. They did it right.
You said in a number of briefings, of course, other forums, that this is just the first step. Cadence has to step up, as the administrator has indicated. Now, it's a little early for the full report card on Integrity did, but did this mission ultimately, from your eye view, exceed expectations?
It absolutely did. I was waiting to talk about this until we're in the water, and we still have, again, work to do to bring it in and really kind of go through it bolt by bolt and see what we learned. But I mean, so far, given what we learned during the mission and given how we performed on ascent and on entry, we think about states that every time we put these machines, these incredibly energetic states that came. So I'm fairly confident that we made a big step tonight to get us path towards the surface. I think the path to the surface is open now. We do have to do all the work, and we talk about that as We learned a few things during the mission, but I have to tell you, this was an incredible test, an incredible machine.
From an American psyche standpoint, the Empire State Building was lit up red, white, and blue tonight. Coverage was seen on baseball stadiums, the major leagues. How captivating was this experience for the American people, for the world, in fact? We returned to the moon.
You know, it was not been able to watch a lot of the coverage as progressed through the mission. We'll tell you, my witness, Florida before launch, and then people's faces here, and then reading where I can about how it's going. I think gift to the world from NASA, the world a gift, proving to folks all over the place, especially young people, and that's what this is really about. Young people, when they see what we can work together, when we have team collaborate, that doesn't matter how hard the problems are, we can solve them. I feel that Artemis 2, as folks witness what we were able to do with this incredible crew, this incredible team we've birthed into the world, scientists and engineers have been inspired by this. And even if they don't come work in the program, which separately they should come work in the program because who knows we need the help. But even if they don't want to come work in the program, hopefully they grow up to recognize they can do amazing things when they work together and contribute to society and be good citizens and really way, the challenges that are coming in the world are overcome if we work together like this.
And one final question. Flying to the moon, we did it. We've done it again this past week and a half or so. But the engineering that went behind the design of this mission, the precision, the pinpoint precision of this vehicle entering that entry corridor, it's so mind-boggling.
It is incredible when you think about the energy involved and the uncertainties involved that when we inserted the vehicle into orbit, it was 99% down the middle, dropped the vehicle right on top of the fleet here. Our guys knew exactly where to go, but the guidance was perfect. It's interesting. I've got this question a lot over the last weeks about, we did this before 53 years ago, and that I think, it is a reasonable thing to contemplate, like what's gone on since then. And what I tell you is, when we did Apollo, which again, the more we about what they did, the more magical what they were able to accomplish given the technology and the learning they had. But when we did Apollo, the architects of Apollo, Gilbert, Seaman, Von Braun, Miller, what they really, really wanted to do, as they were what it meant to expand our range of action to the lunar surface, what they wanted to do was learn how to live and work in space for a long time. They wanted to do that first. They were confident they could expand their range of action to the moon. Now, of course, the politics of the time and
Okay, now the helicopters are going to lift
and bring
the astronaut
so that the program kind of lost its momentum
and take them to the main ship.
So we recognized during Apollo that reusability was
Wow, that's a
a lot of money on those machines, and we spent a lot of money on them.
Little splashing.
Even though, but we recognized reusability was important. Why we built a winged space plane called Space Shuttle. We used that reusable machine to build a space station. We learned for 25 years how to live and work in space, and have been able to develop technology that can enable export. So really, what I think is now, 53 years later, we're at the point where the architects of Apollo would have been pleased that we're now ready to actually go back to the moon and go back to stay, because we've learned all the things we needed to learn.
There's a lot of people pleased here tonight, and really thank you for joining us. Amit Patria.
Okay, the first astronaut is being airlifted.
Just to head back to the recovery ship. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Wow. Insane amount of work.
This is Mission Control Houston, with the crew members now beginning to be hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters. Let's go to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha, who will take it from here.
Hey, Rob, yeah, back on the bow of the ship here, we are seeing the helicopters circling Orion. The first one there, having just completed picking up the first astronaut. Kilo 2 now, hovering just 40 feet.
The second astronaut is going to be picked.
A recovery specialist, the helicopter. That person will touch down in the porch just there. The crew members already outfitted with a harness that will allow them to quickly attach to the hoisting device. Look at the power, those blades, flowing water at the center there, the front porch, with now 3 astronauts, the recovery specialist.
We are recovering the astronauts.
Already outfitted with a harness vest.
If you've joined, make sure to like the video.
Second astronaut now off the front porch, getting hoisted into the second helicopter. That helicopter will now probably just a distance away to give room for the first helicopter to come back and pick up the third astronaut. As we wait for that helicopter to come back its way back around, just want to that the President of the United States called our NASA administrator today while he was on the ship, just minutes after we interviewed him live on our coverage, and congratulated him and NASA on this history-making moment tonight. Helicopter 1 again hovering 40 feet over the front porch.
So the helicopter has picked the first astronaut, made a turn, come for the second astronaut, and the second helicopter will do the same. So that we can have 2.
Well, imagine sitting on that front porch, the wind in the water. Again, the recovery determined that a helicopter flight back to the ship here would be safer, faster, and more comfortable for our crew who just completed a 10-day mission. Third astronaut in the air, getting hoisted quickly back to the first helicopter. That first helicopter back to the ship here, we will soon get land and just, again, all the time, just 3,000 yards away from us for a very quick flight back to the front.
Now we're gonna pick the final astronaut. The captain, the commander.
Now making its way back over to the front porch. Here it comes. Making its final approach here.
Wow. It's amazing.
The last the lead white now off the front porch and off the second helicopter. Folks now, way back to the ship, where we are, the USS John F. just west of San Diego and Pacific Ocean.
Now we are recovering.
Excited to see our 4 crew members minutes away landing flight deck here on the recovery.
They're going back to the flight deck.
On this ship, excited, ready, anxious, looking forward to welcoming this crew aboard. Watching them now, though. First to the ship here. Hearing them begin to hover. Flight deck across from us. Now.
Wow, okay. The first helicopter has already landed, and this is the second helicopter. And they are finally home. Wow, so helicopters can even move sideways. Wow.
Wheels down. Wheels down of the first helicopter carrying 2 of our Artemis 2 crew.
Is that the first or is that the second?
And mission specialist Christina. One deck reported on the recovery and the mission.
Okay, this is the second helicopter.
And an announcement just made on the ship. Integrity.
Yeah, so why has she been saying Orion? I don't know.
The other are imagery. Again, kudos to our image and area for giving us these beautiful views of history making. And gorgeous, seems to be sunset here in the Pacific Ocean.
The second helicopter is hovering, waiting for permission to land.
Second helicopter. In its approach of the flight deck. We have people here on the bow filming this moment. Impressive, maybe. As we are seconds away from wheels down. There you go. We now have 4 Artemis 2 crew members. The USS John P.
They are all on the ship now.
So they're happy to be out of the water on this recovery ship. But again, 500 people on board.
A recovery ship with over 500 people on board.
But first, as we've been saying throughout the broadcast, be sure the crews feel good. We reported that they were feeling good when they were in Alaska. Those were just initial, quick, verbal assessments of how their destination tonight, the medical day here, the ships. Right after we power down.
So they're going to the medical to be checked, just to ensure they are fine.
Like that. Working quickly, but methodically. Waiting for just one to touch down.
The fourth helicopter is touching down.
Very limited personnel like that. The third helicopter is down.
Third or fourth? Look like the fourth helicopter to me. Hmm.
Also, for key folks on the flight deck itself, there are plenty more on some upper decks. Here are some of our views. Are very out overhead. Announcements being made over the ship ecosystem remind folks to stay clear of operators like the flight deck, so that teams can work quickly to get the crew off of the helicopters and into the medical bed. Splashdown 5:16 Pacific time. We are within 2 hours of that splashdown time. Already we have 7 members of the flight deck of the USS John King. Again, crew waiting for getting for the helicopters to completely shut down. Safety, of course, very important to NASA and the U.S. military. We'll wait just a couple of minutes here before we start seeing crew members walk off the helicopters one by one.
They're turning off the rotors. Now, all in sync. Down. And just like that. Photography crew, and there are, oh, it must be nice for them to feel some solid ground.
Mission specialist
Yes.
Christina.
The astronaut is saying he can't walk. He's saying he's signaling his legs are gone. He can't walk yet.
Victor, I can see you from here. Christina, you're feeling the same. Lost the link by our camera here, so we'll see her here shortly.
Taking a few pictures with the astronaut. The first time they're on solid ground.
They look like they're in great spirits. Happy to be home, I'm sure.
Yeah, great spirits, but I don't think they can walk at the moment.
If you're sitting at home, hope you are wondering, what would you want? You got a chance to talk to them because that is what I'm.
If we got a chance to talk to them, what would you ask them? How was it? How was the moon? Basically.
Just made history as the first crew to return to the moon since 1972. Oh, there we see Christina there, also smiling, peering out, seeing at the camera. Hello to you too, Christina. Yes. Welcome back from home. A loudspeaker announcement on the ship saying, "Welcome home, integrity." If you're in great spirits, I can't see who he's talking to, but I kind of think that he might be talking to his other two crew members. Shouting from across the flight deck, congratulations.
Wow. And they're back. Looking very cool.
And so now we see some Navy personnel walking up to the helicopter. With again the first helicopter carrying Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Cook. Both have taken off their helmets. Pictures, video, the cabin, this historic moment. A beautiful sunset just behind them in the Pacific Ocean. Golden hour. Pictures will be beautiful. We see Administrator Jared Isaacman, he's on the deck, as well as Flight Surgeon Rick Sherman walking over to Victor and Christina first. We saw the administrator walk over to the other helicopter, which is carrying Reed Westman and mission specialist Jeremy Hansen. We heard from the broadcast. He said he's going to be out there on the flight deck to do another assessment of the crew, ask them anything bothering. Again, they look like they're in great spirits and feeling pretty good. For folks who just traveled 690,000 miles to Florida, moon, here to the Pacific Ocean. Being NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman walking up the flight deck, he had been talking to Reed, Jeremy, approaching Victor and Christina. From Victor? From Christina?
Are they standing?
We're getting to experience together.
It's amazing if they can stand after all that time.
We got to speak to the administrator live on this broadcast as well, and he said the kid in him right now, giddy, absolutely giddy at what we were able to accomplish today. Returning home safely, in good spirits, for a 10-day mission. And here we go. We're seeing Jeremy walking, waving across the flight deck now, way to the medical.
Well, he's limping, but he's walking back.
Less than a minute. Again, that's why the recovery team decided to use helicopters to get them on the flight deck. For that short walk to medical bay. And now on the flight deck, we see the chief of the astronaut office, Scott Tingle. Rick Sharp switching places. He's going over to the other helicopter. Big hugs from Victor, Christina, to Scott. Again, gorgeous sun setting the stage for this recovery.
Okay.
Here we are, Christina.
Christina and Victor going back, walking back. I mean, it's amazing they can walk back. Just the fact that they can walk, amazing.
You can see she's looking up again. Lots of people, just a few levels up off the flight deck, welcoming her. Scott holding the door like a gentleman, but back his way to the other crew still on the flight deck. Still on the flight deck.
Okay. Now Victor. Actually, Victor looks very.
It looks like Victor will be the next to medical bay. More hugs. He's a hugger.
Yeah. Victor looks the strong of.
Walks across the flight deck.
He's walking unassisted at least. Well, at least he's still disoriented, but you know, amazing.
For all the folks to ship with him, who played a role, they returned.
Wow. It's amazing that they can walk at all, honestly. Because when you go to space, like they become taller because you lose, you get stretched because of not being pressed down by gravity. So when you come down to gravity, look, oh my God, so amazing that they can walk unassisted actually.
There on the flight deck, as well as the level just above them, packed with people. He's looking good as he takes his steps towards the medical.
Wow. What we have watched was actually amazing. We've seen that from re-entry to recovery.
Head into medical bay. They will be assessed by flight surgeons now, Canadian Space Agency. A more in-depth assessment. When they get to medical bay, they will each their own nurse. They will be helped with their suits. And then again, will good. Sure, it's not adrenaline, but they are feeling their long in the moon. Beautiful shot of that sun illuminating our flight deck.
Anyway, I think that will be it from that.
All right, and now they're safely on board.
Because we've welcomed the astronauts, we've seen the whole. It's taken 2 hours from since they came from since re-entry. Actually, most of it was splashdown and recovery. Re-entry and splashdown went very, very smoothly, but after that we had to kind of wait for everything to chill out so that they can be recovered. Anyway, that was an amazing experience. I'm glad that I watched that. I didn't want to miss it. It was so fun. I hope you guys